It's showtime, baby. Let's go. Woo!
Welcome to the show. This is Sports with Strawberry Ice. I'm your host, Iceman Jeff Turnipole. And as always, I bring you sports from a West Side point of view right here in the great city of Cincinnati, Ohio, home of some of the best restaurants, bars, door window company you can have. Let's run down the list here. We have Meyer Door and Windows, a great sponsor of the show. Check them out for all your door and windows needs. I have them in my own house. They are awesome. Midwest Best Barbecue. I'm telling you, if you have not tried their CTB wings or their Uno wings or their G-Funk or the pulled pork sandwiches, or my favorite is the chili. When they have that, the chili is delicious. Make sure you go check that out. And my favorite sports bar, Hail Mary's, your ticket to the game. It's a West Side bar. Joe doesn't know. Joe's been there, but we let him come across every once in a while. But go check out Hail Mary's. I'm going to be there. I think not this Friday, but next Friday, I'll be there watching some college basketball right there on that huge, huge screen. And don't forget it, I'm coming to you live from this glorious place down here. It's the Ice Cave. The Ice Cave is brought to you by T Properties. T Properties, quality housing for quality people. Check out the website at www.tpropertiesllc.com for all your rental property management needs and your rental needs. And you know, we hit the jackpot when we drafted Joe Burrow. I think the Bengals have hit this offseason out the park. Guess what happens in the draft. But make sure you're geared up for next year with your Jackpot Joey stuff. Remember, portion of the proceeds go to the Joe Burrow Hunger Relief Foundation and Joe Burrow Foundation. What's up? Welcome to the show. Do me a favor. Hit that thumbs up. Hit the like and subscribe buttons. Like I said, smash that thumbs up. I am live streaming on ZTV. I am monetized again back on YouTube. So if you want to give me a super chat or anything like that, I greatly appreciate it. Also live stream on Facebook, X, Rumble. If you're listening to the podcast, what's up? It's on BeanPod, Apple iTunes, Spotify, Google, Stitcher Play, pretty much wherever you get your podcasts. Please make sure you rate, like, and review. What is up to everybody in the chat? Who is there first? I think Stranger's there first. We got Crypt Keeper, Rockin' Bengals in there, Brad's in there, Paul Painter's in there, Greg Graves, Tony Blazen's in there. Rebecca, what is up to? Okay, my boy, what's going on? All right. So, I am happy and sad all at the same time. I'm very happy with the way the Bengals have attacked this offseason. I'm sad. My boy DJ Reader, one of my favorite players, is no longer a Cincinnati Bengal. My thoughts are, if they sign Beckham or Tard or both, hopefully they sign both because I think we need to, we still need to address right tackle and a defensive interior line in the draft. That's where we're at. But, I mean, I think the Bengals have done an outstanding job. They're letting some of our favorite players go. I mean, DJ has got his second quad injury. He's turning 30. That's kind of where you might, if you're a businessman or whatever, you're like, all right, you're getting more money or whatever with Detroit, go seek your life's work there, as the great Paul Brown would say. But again, in my heart, it sucks. Losing Joe Mixon sucks. But if you want to win a Super Bowl and you want to be a contending team in the NFL, this is what you have to do. My Bearcats. I don't know about you guys, but I am thoroughly shocked. I mean, I expected them to beat Kansas last night. But the way this team has played sometimes, we went 7 minutes and scored 2 points in the second half last night. I was getting a little nervous. But they stepped up. They made the plays down the stretch. They got the dub. Tonight, again, a late night again. Game tip is at 9:30. They're playing the Baylor Bears. they got to make it to Saturday, people. I mean, they gotta make it to Saturday. I think if they make it to Saturday, I think they're in the NCAA tournament. But those are two big wins they got to get: Baylor, and then whoever's next, which I think I have to look it up. Iowa State or somebody like that. I'm not really sure. I know off the top of my head. People in the chat would take care of it because I've had a day today, people. Like I got home from work, and Mrs. Ice got back from Florida last night. She's home for a couple of days, and then she's heading down to Florida again, and then I'm heading down to Florida on Monday. I'm gonna get my sister's tattoo Sunday, so I'm not leaving until Monday because it's a vacation we had planned. But I get home from work today, and she walks out and says, "Hey, you got hurt and get in the house." I'm like, "What the heck's going on?" We have a water leak. I'm like, "What?" So this is what happened. This is my bathroom right now. There's a hole in the wall, and we got the water lines fixed. So if I am not up to date on everything that's going on, I apologize. I have been doing my best, but sometimes life gets in the way, and you got to take care of stuff. So anyway, let's get to my boy. He's from the Bengals show. He's Joe Farfsing. What is up, Joe?
Would that be the opposite of a glory hole?
Yes. Yes, that would be the opposite. That would be glory hole. Yes, you can be like, I can do circles.
That's a non-glory hole.
Yes, exactly. Non-glory hole. It's like, yeah, all right. I'm gonna date myself. You remember the movie Porky's? You know where they had the holes in the girl's shower. Yeah,
been a long time, but yeah.
Yeah, this is a big gaping hole in my shower right now. So anyway,
Hi,
how you doing?
I'm great.
I think the Bengals have hit the offseason out the free agency out the stadium. I mean, I would like them to sign Tart. I like them to sign Beckham. I think if you sign Beckham and Tart, you're still drafting hopefully Mims at right tackle and my boy Devontae Sweat at defensive tackle, and they're coming in and competing with those two. I'm good with that. Where are you at?
I got to put them at probably A, B right now because they got a tight end, and they're still going year to year on that. They need to draft somebody or figure something out, but they've got their running back, and again, it's going to be a running back by committee, which I'm cool with. Like Mixon doesn't fit what they need to do, so I'm cool with that. Love Geno Stone. I called it last week. I love Von Bell. You know me. I called that a couple months ago.
You did. I gave you credit on Twitter last night.
Nailed it.
Like you got it. You said it on my show back in like January. I'm like,
yeah,
I'd be down for that. But I mean, I will tell you this. I'm surprised because we did sign Stone, and I was kind of. I'm like, well, I don't think they're going to sign Jesse Bates. Von Bell back. They're definitely not signing Jesse Bates back. I don't think they're going to bring Von Bell back. But my question is, what does this mean for Jordan Battle? What does this mean for Dax Hill? I mean, it's not. I mean, it's depth. I will take it. I love it. I'm not complaining about it at all. But what's your thoughts on who's starting where? How's Von Bell going to work in all this? What do you think?
I mean, it remains to be seen. Jordan Battle had a fantastic rookie season. I mean, he was, I think, the 9th highest rated safety. Again, PFF, take it for what you want. They have their grading system, like so. I personally think it's a useful tool, but not the be-all, end-all. He looked like a legitimate starting strong safety. I think he's going to get the primary snaps at strong safety. Obviously, Geno's going to be there as the free safety. Bell's going to be there kind of for big 3 safety looks.
Right.
And I think Dax Hill is now a slot cornerback in training. I don't know.
I don't disagree with that. I mean,
yeah.
And the thing is, the other thing I thought about this before they signed Bell is that Dax is your guy, your safety, your corner, whatever you use to try to cover the tight end.
Yeah,
that Trey Flowers, kind of role. I'm hoping. It's weird, but I'm hoping they kind of are not giving up on him as far as a safety goes, because we did draft him as that, and he's very athletic and has speed. I do think he could possibly get into that role, but does him going back to the Ginsu knife is where I think he's going to be. Is that going to hurt his development, though? Because that's what we all talked about last year. Is like, put him in one spot and let him learn it. And now, I don't think he has a spot. You know, he could, like I said, I do believe he could be the replacement for Mike Hilton, but you never know.
Yeah, I think absolutely having him, like, being able to figure out what he does best, because being a center fielder, that wasn't it. He struggled last year. Right. Again, you look at his numbers, and Joe Goodberry always has fantastic numbers, and he actually had pretty decent in terms of pass breakups or, you know, times, affecting the pass in his zone. He was actually one of the best safeties for that, but it looked like he just wasn't in the right place at the right time, struggled. And again, maybe it's having Nick Scott, who was new to the system, or having a, you know, then rookie next to him. They struggle with communication, figuring out who needed to be where.
Right. Well, that's where Von Bell can come in and help him develop that.
I mean,
sure.
even just Tuesday through Friday, having Von Bell around as someone, you know, who's been in the system.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I think if he can learn and if he can be that slot corner, because this is Mike Hilton's coming into his last year, and Hilton still has limitations because he's like 4'3" and 106 pounds. Having someone who's got that size, who can, you know, especially if you're facing someone who's got a tight end that they use as a slot receiver, which the Bengals can do now with Mike Gesicki.
Oh, yeah.
Looking forward to that 6'6" matchup nightmare. They're just going to dunk all over a 5'9" slot cornerback. So I think having Dex, he'll be able to play that role and not have to give up ability in the secondary, works out great.
Yeah, and let's talk about Gesicki. And like I said, we kind of talked about this off the air, with the potential signing of Tart and Beckham. The whole hope of Brock being there at 18, the Bengals drafting him, might be out the window, because if I'm not comfortable with having Beckham as, all right, this is our right tackle, I'm not comfortable with Tart as, all right, this is our nose tackle, which Tart kind of a nose tackle, you know, I mean, might be more a pass run. And the biggest thing is we need run defense, and that's where we're going to miss the hell out of DJ. If DJ comes back and plays like DJ can, especially with King Henry with the Ravens, I mean, DJ was the trump card to King Henry. He could take double teams on and slow him down or tackle him. So is that Devontae Sweat? Can he? I mean, will we get him? That's the only thing that I don't like going into the draft. We're like, all right, we have to get a D tackle. We have to get a right tackle. We still have to do that in the draft. And I mean, they've addressed a lot of issues, but they still aren't done yet. They got to knock the draft out the park, I think.
Yeah, they can't whiff like they did on the 2022 draft. That was a terrible and looking like a terrible draft. Outside of, I mean, Juice in the second round, I don't, you know, it doesn't look like there's a lot of impact that they're going to get out of that draft. Getting a nose tackle, preferably, you know, a bigger bodied guy, whether it's Sweat or whomever. I like Johnny Newton, but he's more of a 3 technique. I'd be cool with him if he failed him in the first round, but, you know, what I think they need to do, especially now that they've got all these draft picks, they've got 10 draft picks with the comp picks and picking up the 7th. They did finally.
Is that 7th? Is that for this year?
That is this year. They finally came out with the compensation. So they did get a 7th this year. So they have 10 draft picks this season, this April. So they're going to have to move up, or, you know, to make sure they're getting a guy. They're bad at letting the draft, or not bad. I mean, they're known for letting the draft come to them, and they've got a list of guys that guy's not their fallback. They're going to need to make sure they get a guy. So whether that's moving up or whatever, they can't let guys that they need go to teams in front of them.
Right. Now Brad's here saying that Mixon just signed a 3-year,
$27
million deal.
Okay.
Like, wow. Is that true?
Yeah, I'm just looking up, just scrolling the feed, and yeah, okay. Good on them. I mean, Texans have a lot of money to burn this offseason. Again, I don't think Mixon's a bad back. I think Mixon still has some juice in the tank left, but for the fact that running backs are devalued and rightfully so, they got paid.
They get paid.
Saquon got a ton of money. I mean, something like I don't get
good
it
for Mixon. I mean, I'm happy for him.
Yeah, I mean,
Rebecca here says $13 million of it's guaranteed, which is awesome. That's great.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
good on.
We'll get that here. I guarantee you that.
Good on you, but I hope they realize they're not getting 2018 Joe Mixon. Like, he's a guy who he's going to keep the pile moving, and he's a guy who's good, really good out of the backfield. But man, he's, that's a lot of money for, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I
good on his agent.
Yeah, I mean, it's good on the Bengals that they traded him to him. Which, funny thing is, like, that's the reason I think it was good the Bengals that they traded him, because I didn't think anybody was going to give him any more money than what he was already slotted to get paid.
Yeah.
So, because, he is closer to 30. What is he, 20, 28, 27, something like that?
I think he'll go into the season as a 28-year, be his age 28 season, whatever that's worth.
It's like his 7th or 8th season in the NFL. That's a long career for an NFL running back. So
a lot of carries, a lot of wear and tear.
Yeah, good on Mixon. Hey, I will never be upset with anybody getting their money. But DJ, I'm not upset. I know you got your money. I wish the Bengals would have signed you, but you brought up a good point. 30 years old, come off a second quad. But the thing is, like, where I'm at is I don't know if Tart, if they do sign him, is he an upgrade of DJ Reader?
No, I mean, there are maybe 2 guys in the league who you'd be upgrading over DJ Reader. And that's the thing, like, Reader only got $9 million guaranteed, which means the Lions aren't sold on his injuries or on his recovery, which means the Bengals absolutely. And I can't believe that he actually was signed this early in the offseason.
I did not think I honestly thought
we talked about
later.
this. Yeah,
I thought he'd be later in the summer. Beyond, I thought people
absolutely,
unless his quad is really looking, it must be looking really healthy.
But is it though? Like, only getting 9 guaranteed out of 26, 27, whatever the full value of the contract is?
Dude, that's better. I mean, I didn't think he was going to get signed until June. To
be
honest, that's what I was thinking. So, I mean, good on DJ. I mean, that's awesome. I mean, if you can get it, get it. Bengals can't have that guy and pay the money that would require for him if they're not sure about, if they're not sure about it. Because if they get Reader, they're not spending a draft pick, like a high value draft pick, on a nose tackle. Right. They wouldn't have gotten Sheldon Rankins. I think when we should realize when Rankins was signed, DJ Reader's off the table. They got their 3 technique. They don't need a draft 3 technique, but they do need a nose tackle now. Right. So,
but
but if you get Sweat, which is a big if you get him or somebody like him, you're back to the defense line that you had, or potential that you had on a Super Bowl run when you had Larry O and DJ starting and BJ Hill coming off the bench. You have that there. And so there are some thoughts which I'm not sold on. I don't think you don't count this, but you could move BJ over to nose, but I don't think he's big enough. I don't. That's not another one there. I'm like, okay, we're gonna move him over. I'm not sold on that either.
He played a lot as nose tackle, just throughout the year, just in sub situations.
Right.
So,
but not your starter.
No. They'll bring somebody. I mean, they'll have somebody in, and they're absolutely going to have. I mean, they're going to bring in at least one, probably vet minimum guy and a draft pick. If you can get Sweat, his 360-pound butt in the
366, baby.
That's a lot. That's a giant of a man.
That ran a 5.2.
Yeah, that's
366, dude.
That's crazy. So,
I mean, we don't usually gush your 5'2", but when you're 366 pounds, that's freaking moving, dude. That's a lot of man moving.
That's explosion, and
I got a lot of man meat right there, and he's moving fast.
So far, this episode we've talked about glory holes and man meat. We're off to a good start. We're on a running start, Jeff.
Welcome to Sports Strawberry Ice, man. And we're doing this, and we're not. It's the Dale's not even here. Or pork chop.
Strawberries and cream. That's what we got going on tonight.
Exactly.
I got problems. I apologize. I just throw this in the tank. My bad.
All right. Another thing that I'm still want them to add, their position I want them to add to still, and again, I think they'll address it in the draft, is the running back room. I like Zach Moss. I think it's a good pickup, but I would like them to get a big back, which that's where Mixon could have been, that straight line guy. and that's kind of where I'm at. I want that big hitter because you need that in the AFC North, I think.
Yeah, and there's plenty of guys out there. There's guys on the free. I don't know if he's even left in free agency, but there's plenty of there's guys in the draft that they'll be able to get. Like I'm not worried about that. They need an explosion. They didn't need a big guy to move the pile. So they now are more explosive. Zach Moss is a stout, stocky. Wow, yeah. That's sorry, Rob.
sorry, Rob. Sorry, Rob's wife.
Noise canceling headphones. That's what we need.
Oh God.
Nothing comes in or out.
Augie here says, I think we'll be fine with Moss and Brown if we don't bring one in. I think we'll be fine. I just would rather have. I want some RJ.
They're bringing somebody in. And I think it's going to be a young guy because you're going to have 4 guys in there. Chris Evans is not making this team. Right. And they brought back Travion Williams for special teams purposes. Right. So, which is fine. I've got no problems with that.
Hopefully he'll get a touchdown this year and go give the football to Bengals captain. He's been saying that.
Did he promise it or something? Or
yeah, like
okay,
4 years ago or something like that. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. I mean, he's easy to find at least. So.
This one's good, but I like what Shander says. He says draft Braylon Allen, but for the guys yesterday, they're saying that could be a third round pick, which we have an extra third round pick now, so that could help. Yeah. So that's where you could have that with the extra third round pick, the extra 7th round pick. I mean, these are all good things. Go ahead, Joe.
Braylon Allen looked like a man the second he stepped. I mean, he was a 17-year-old freshman starting at Wisconsin, 240 pounds. I'm like, man, he and I talked about this after you'd leave my show on Monday with when I was talking with Seth, and Seth watches a lot of Big Ten football. He's an Ohio State guy and covers them a little bit. So he's kind of as good as he was as a freshman. That's kind of the level he was at as a junior, but definitely big body that can run through some arm tackles. So
exactly. All right, we are 22 minutes into this. If you guys are checking out for the first time, there's 127 people watching right now. I appreciate you guys. Again, I am officially monetized back on YouTube, so if you guys want to check it out. But this show is always being brought to you by Meyer Door and Windows. Check them out for all your door and window needs. The best barbecue joint in the city of Cincinnati, Midwest best barbecue, and my favorite bar on the west side, Hail Mary's. Your ticket to the game, make sure you check all of them out. And if you go there, tell them Strawberry sent you, because I'm going to be there next Friday, hopefully watching the Bearcats play some basketball. I am pleasantly surprised as how they are doing. I mean, I know Kansas did not have their big guns at last night, but they scored 2 points in the first 7 minutes of the second half. I was getting a little scared there.
Yeah.
I don't know about you. And it's at 9:30 tonight. Gets I keep wanting to say Butler. It's not Butler. It's
Baylor.
Thank you. I knew it was a B.
Baylor.
It's going to be a rough game. It's going to be hard. I'm a little leery about it. I would not expect. I hate to say I don't expect them to win, but I kind of don't. To me, Joe, they got to win. They got to get to Saturday to have a shot at getting into the NCAA tournament. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, their net right now is 34, which is right on the precipice of getting a bid, getting the at-large bid. I doubt, again, if they win tonight, I mean, I don't know where Baylor is in net. I mean, it qualifies as a quad one.
It's quad one, yeah.
Yeah.
Which last night qualified as quad one, even though Kansas didn't have their 2 best players. Still quad one.
The name on the front, not the name on the back. Yeah, Baylor is 14. Baylor's 14, so that would bump them up another couple spots. Tomorrow it's going to be either Iowa State if they win. It's either Iowa State or Kansas State. They play the game before UC tonight. I think a big problem is the fact that Baylor has been resting. Like they haven't played a game yet. They get a double bye, which
is that double. Sometimes that's bad. Sometimes that's good. It's rust against rest versus not rust. Well, we've been playing, so we're in game shape, game mode. I don't know. What's your thoughts on that? I
don't. I mean, I think it's kind of bullshit, to be honest with you. there's no need for a double bye. Like you can maybe buys for the first couple teams just to even out the because you don't have an even number of teams. But I don't know. I don't think it really matters too much because Locken and Frederick probably aren't playing anyway. So it's not as if like they'd be getting those guys back. They haven't played at all this week anyway. So
No.
Them resting isn't doing any good. I'd expect Baylor to come out a little rusty, but they're just a good team, man. I mean, UC played them pretty well, but
it's one of those games they could have, should have won. They
Yeah.
had a lot of those. So yeah, I'm kind of what Brady said. They might have tired legs, but we're complaining about the 9:30 start. That's actually a good thing for the Bearcats that they get that much rest. They're not going from 9:30 to a noon tip the next day. So as far as resting their legs, that's a good thing for us. Like I said, as fans, it sucks for us.
Yeah.
But,
I only care about me anyway.
Duh, me too.
Yeah, I mean, UC lost by 3 to them at in Waco, so I mean they played them tough.
Yeah.
But
so I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility. They could win. I've been saying this all year. They make shots, they quit turning the ball over, they're probably going to win.
quit shooting so goddamn many 3-pointers, man. They are not a good 3-point shooting team. Dan Jack's up 30 shots a game. Again, if you can get CMOS or Day or somebody on a heater, cool. But outside of that, they just settle too much. And if you're making them, awesome. But this isn't a team that consistently makes hits from deep. They're the second worst shooting team behind the arc in the entire Big 12.
And we missed so many bunnies. I mean, Skillings made a great move, goes up and bangs it off the backboard. I'm like, dude, slow down.
Day does that a lot too. He's just absolutely, because he's so fast. He just flies I think he gets to the rim faster than what he expects.
Yeah, exactly.
And so we'll see.
Robert here says, going to have to come out and play Bearcat basketball. Both ends of the floor getting hot at the right time is good. Let's go Bearcats. Yeah, I think they got to make the shots. Augie's got a question here for you. Back to the Bengals here. Joe Farfsing, you guys put any stock in the JJ trade rumors? No. The Twitterverse has been spewing. I think we love it, but I can't see it. All right, I'll put it this way. If I'm Minnesota and he just turned $30 million down, and I can't think of the guy's name off the top of my head that the wide receiver the Texans just signed. He signed a $90 million contract and 60 of it's guaranteed. And you're Minnesota and you just lost your quarterback. To me, I'm trading JJ to somebody else for draft picks and starting over.
Yeah.
Because one, it's gonna be good for JJ because he doesn't have. Sorry, they don't have a quarterback. He needs a quarterback to throw to somebody.
They have Sam Darnold.
Like I said, they don't have a quarterback. and I saw this Twitter thing yesterday. First, there's rumors that the Bengals will trade T. Higgins to the Minnesota Vikings for JJ plus a first round this year, a second round this year, and a first round next year. I said, you are crazier than hell. They are not going to do that. There is no way that's going to happen. So,
even if you can make an argument that they should, the Bengals won't. That's not a Bengals thing.
All right, I would make an argument that they should for that. Hell no.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't. No.
Not 2 firsts and a second. No. I mean, I'd rather just keep T this year and let him. And the thing is, Jay Trapine even said this, that the Bengals can fit T under the cap this year and next year on the tag if they want to.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm not saying that they will tag him twice. I mean, game on. He's been on here, and he's said that for the past couple of times he's been on my show that he thinks that they'll tag T twice. I don't know if they'll do that or not.
I doubt it. If they do, then trade him in the next offseason. I do not want, because if you tag T again next year, then you're absolutely losing him for nothing the next year.
Right.
Because they're not going to extend him. Like that ship has sailed. I mean, that's the Titanic. That here comes the iceberg. It's going to end up at the bottom of the Atlantic. Yeah, so I wish they would trade him this off. Like, they're a better team with him on the field, but they still have holes to fill. There's a lot of wide receivers out there. I really wish that, and it's not out of the realm possibility they still trade him. I mean, the draft isn't until the end of next month. So.
Yeah. This is one thing that I brought this up, like, during the season. Brad said they could trade Jake.
They could have had him and held on to him. He was on the practice squad.
Right. They didn't. I mean, that's one thing I've said is.
Yeah.
But they signed Sam Darnold now, so I said trade T and Jake or I didn't say that. Somebody on the chat actually said that. I take that back. I'm not going to take credit for it. I didn't say that. Somebody in the chat said that. And that blew my mind. I'm like, I might do that. straight up. They give you a quarterback plus a great wide receiver. Again, I don't think it's going to happen. I mean, it's fun. It would be an absolute blast to have all the LSU team basically run it back, but I don't see it.
Why don't we go get Terrace Marshall and go get CEH and we had Thad Moss.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, for the Bengals to win the Super Bowl, right now they're still their two biggest needs is defensive interior tackle and right tackle. That's their biggest. That's what they need to concentrate on right now. Yeah, that's what I think they're concentrating on. I don't think this whole JJ. That's all just fun for us to screw around with and everything.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. So I mean, whatever. I mean, it's fun to talk about. It's fun to goof around.
Yeah.
Throw it on Madden. See what throw those picks on Madden and see if the computer accepts it.
Right. Exactly. All right, Robert. What do you got here? You said Ridley Titans got 60. Yeah, 60. Yeah.
I can't believe that.
That is. I mean, and I said this on Twitter. They way overpaid for him.
Yeah.
And people are, and I'm like that, and that right there. Just, I mean, honestly, if Ridley's getting that much, T's like, huh, and JJ, they're like, yeah, give me 100.
Yeah.
I mean, he got 60 guarantees, $90 million total, I think. I mean, it's wow. I get it. You got money, and you want to spend it, but sometimes you got to spend it a little wiser. I mean, that's just. I don't know. That's just a lot for him. And I'm not saying he's not a good wide receiver. He is, but he's not T. Higgins, and he's not Jamar Chase, and he's not Justin Jefferson. I mean, he's not.
Would you give Amari? Would you give Amari Cooper that much money?
No.
They're both the same age, and Cooper has pretty much double the career stats.
Right.
Now, granted, Ridley had to miss a year because gambling, but. That's batshit crazy. When that came out, the first was Michael Pittman Jr.'s contract, and you're like, yeah, he's not a wide receiver one. People are like, why didn't you sign T for that? Like, well, like T's a better receiver than Michael Pittman Jr. and should and would get a lot more money.
Yeah.
And then you see what Calvin Ridley, who's not, who's a step below Michael Pittman for that matter. I mean, he's a good wide receiver, but
good, yeah.
And you see that money, and you're like. Yeah, no, it's not a matter of whether the Bengals can pay T. It's a matter of whether the Bengals should pay T. It's it's resource allocation, and it's awesome having two pretty much number one receivers. And Jamar is top 5, and he's not 5 receiver in the league. But spread that money out. Why don't you get a? Yeah, why don't spend? I mean, yeah. So
I had somebody at work tell me the other day. He goes, I'll watch. T. Higgins, they trade T or he's gone. He leaves. Jamar Chase is going to go downhill. I said, "Are you freaking nuts? Like
no.
What? Like, have you seen Jamar when in the games when T's not there? I mean, come on.
Look at this here. If the Bengals can do what the Chiefs did after getting rid of Tyreek Hill, like spend that money on the defense. You've got a generational quarterback. Protect the quarterback and spend on the defense. Obviously, I mean, they're not. I mean. Kelsey's making a shitload of money, but I mean the rest of the guys are mid-range free agent types and guys that they've drafted and developed. So spend that money on the other side of the ball and in the trenches so that you can dominate. Why did the Chiefs beat the Bengals in the playoffs? They killed them on the offense, or they killed the Bengals offensive line.
The refs,
not because
the refs.
I mean, Chris Jones spent more time in Joe Burrow's face than the offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Well, I guess because Callahan was up in the booth and you can't really be in his face.
See, Augie's got a back. See, Casey had help from black and white. Stripes. Yeah.
I may think that, but trying to be objective, trying to look at it analytically, I mean, the refereeing in the NFL sucks. It's
awful. I
mean, and I may think the Bengals get screwed. The Bengals probably don't get screwed more than any other team. It's just that they just are shitty all around. They're shitty all around, and obviously we're gonna pick on the things that people forget. Speaking of T. Higgins, people forget what was the first play of the second half of the Super Bowl. T. Higgins drags Jalen Ramsey down by his face mask and catches a 75-yard touchdown. So that's why the penalty at the end, to Logan Wilson.
Right, you should have called it. You didn't call the one on T. Don't call that one. What the hell?
You look at it both ways, the Bengals got help from the refs.
Orange-colored glasses. I look at it like that.
Right, exactly. Or you let them be physical all game long, and now all of a sudden you're going to call a really, really questionable ticky tack. So.
Yeah. Dude, honestly, refereeing in general is awful. I mean, I thought when the Bearcats moved to the Big 12 that the referee game would get better.
They're bad.
Dude, what? They'll get killed and won't call it, and then somebody breathes on somebody. Oh, that's a foul. I'm like, what? And that's not just the Bearcats. That's both. That goes both ways.
It's terrible. Apparently, just this season, Brett Yormark, the commissioner, they're now going to have independent analysis of the referees.
Oh, it's awful.
Just now, you think you want to have someone to grade these officials? They're terrible.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's get to Austin here. Austin Art, what's up, man? And he said, what about missing wide receivers, missing DTs unless they draft some more? Who's in those roles? They're
missing the DTs. I'm not detoxing. I'm still liquored up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm about to drink some more here when we get off the show. No, I agree with you. Well, I'm not really worried about wide receivers. I think they will pick one up. I mean, I'm higher on Charlie Jones than Joe is and Yoshivas, and with Gesicki, I think Gesicki's going to and Sample we're going to have a more two tight end sets this year. So as far as that goes, I'm not that worried about it. I do think they will draft one. D tackles, I am worried about that. Like I said, even if they do sign Tart, who's here, they got to draft one. And I said, I love Sweat. I want that dude. That's DJ's replacement. So that's where I'm at. What do you got there, Joe?
Wide receiver, there's some guys out there that I'd really absolutely look to get in. I mean, even how do we think about Odell Beckham? I don't know.
Wait, he's not a free agent, is he?
Yeah, they waived him.
They did?
Or released him. Yeah, he's out there. Curtis Samuel would be a fun guy to pick up, just to play number 3 receiver. I like what Josevach can do. He's got all the physical attributes, and he played well. He's also a 6th rounder from the Ivy League. So, as great as he is, you want someone who's who's at least there. If he isn't able to carry, isn't able to hold, to be that wide receiver 3, you want that guy that you need more guys out there. Trent Irwin's fine. I want someone better than Trent Irwin. Charlie Jones, good as a return guy. I don't think he's big enough, strong enough to be able to handle being an NFL wide receiver. He's going to get absolutely broken in half over the middle. Minka Fitzpatrick's going to look at him and just absolutely just fold him in half like an envelope. Same was saying with the Bills. Damn it. Thanks, Big Marshall.
Yeah, I just saw that one. There you go. So, yeah, I didn't know. When did Odell get released?
I think yesterday or this morning.
Oh, my house was in shambles, so I missed that.
Okay, Curtis Samuel, 3-year, $30 million deal. Yeah, okay, Bengals wouldn't have done that, so never mind.
Yeah, exactly.
That's good.
So, all right, I want to talk about this. Twitter and NFL lost their mind when King Henry went to Baltimore. It's the same as they lost their mind last year when Odell Beckham went to Baltimore. Odell Beckham didn't have that good of a year. He did all right. I'm not that worried. I'm like, oh, it's a perfect fit. They got the best team in the NFL now. You're going to have Lamar Jackson and Henry on there, and they're going to run all over people. I'm like, really? Because against the Bengals, now we had DJ Reader. Against the Bengals, Henry's only had one good game, and that was last year. That was it. Other than that, and he's got how many carries on him? So I can't.
More than a few.
Yeah, so that's where I'm like, you're not getting the Derrick Henry of 5 years ago. You're getting the one of last year that were the Texans were going to try to trade or whatever. So I'm not scared of a almost 30-year-old Derrick Henry. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he'll come and they'll ball out. But this whole Ravens love, and all their defense is awesome. Well, they lost one of their best linebackers to the Steelers. So, is their defense? The defense is going to be good. But I just that I get so sick and tired of the national media and the love that the Ravens get. It's like, I see what they're doing, but I'm not like, oh, crap, I am so scared of them now. Well, what's your thoughts, Joe?
They lost a lot of talent off that team. Derrick Henry is, I don't want to say old, because he's not even 30 years old yet because we're both well over 30.
Yeah, but we're not NFL running backs either.
He's NFL old, exactly.
Yeah.
He's, I mean, again, he turns 30 in September, but he was great last year. Even his PFF numbers, like he was fantastic. At some point, all those carries are going to catch up to him, and I would assume it's going to happen sooner than later. I mean, he's got 2,100 carries. Mm-hmm. Like that's a lot. And I mean, he's been in the league for what 8-9 years now.
Yeah, longer than Mixon, longer than Joe Mixon.
Yeah, 2016 was his first season. So, I think there's a good chance that he's going to help. But I mean, they had a good running attack with all the 85 guys that they would bring in and got hurt. So it's
right. That's I guess that's my point. I was like, is their running attack going to be? I mean, I don't see Derrick Henry going, oh my God, it's going to be so much better than it was. I'm like, it looks like the exact same team that was last year, which, don't get me wrong, was good. They beat us, but we didn't have a healthy Joe Burrow pretty much the whole season.
Yeah.
But that is where my concern with the interior defensive line comes. We got to get somebody else in there with the loss of DJ Reader because they are going to run the ball down our throats right now, even with Rankins. Which, by the way, the other day when I was talking about, I kept saying Shaq. I think they got Shaq. He's from the Colts. It was Rankins. Shoden was who I was trying to think of, and I don't know why the hell I thought it was the Colts. That's who I was trying to tell you the other day that they might get.
I just assumed you were drunk.
Not yet. That's later on tonight.
Cool. I mean, it was early. I mean, it was noon when we went on, so I thought maybe a little early day drinking. I'm not here to judge you. Yeah, I am.
Exactly. Somebody said, this would be a good one too. Stranger said, well, my drafting Johnny Wilson, wide receiver of Florida State, which is somebody I discussed with the guys from Gridiron Grading yesterday. But for me, I don't think wide receiver. I'll put it this way. Third round is going to be interesting. With the 2 third-round picks, it's going to be interesting. That, I think, as long as we get the right tackle and a defensive tackle in the first 2 rounds, that's where the wheelhouse would be, I think, for a running back, for a wide receiver. Those third-round picks is kind of where I'm thinking if they're going to go that route, that's when they might do it.
Yeah.
I don't – and the thing is, with them signing Gesicki, I mean, tight end market is not – or tight end drafting isn't – that great this year. I mean, they should have drafted one last year. I'll keep saying that over and over and over again.
Yeah.
They might not draft a tight end again this year. I mean, it'd be nice to get one and to keep them. But I think with Gesicki, it's a patch, and we'll have to do the same thing next year. But that's where I want to stop that revolving door at right tackle. That's where I want to draft that guy this year. So hopefully either if they sign Beckham and that guy eventually beats him out, or Beckham plays great and then he's the incumbent next year, whatever. I want that right tackle situation fixed. I want the defensive interior line fixed. I want guys that are going to be there, and we're not going to have to worry about it for a while. If we got to worry about a tight end again next year, that's fine. We can go find, another Gesicki or somebody else like we've done the last couple of years and sign them, and then hopefully maybe there's in the draft next year and can draft one.
Yeah. I understand you've got 25 technically, starting positions plus sub packages and everything. You can't have long-term solutions at every single spot, but
everybody's got holes. There's not one NFL team that doesn't have a hole.
Or you're just patching with Band-Aid or Flex tape. What's the Phil Swift, like the Flex Seal?
The Flex Seal.
Yeah.
By the way, if you want to sponsor the podcast, just hit me up, Flex Seal.
I mentioned it, so technically you should go to the Bengals show first, and then
you can sponsor both our shows. That's fine.
Yeah, that's cool. He's got the big money. I mean, he's got enough to spray paint a friggin' screen door boat with his shit and keep it afloat. So
I've used that stuff on different stuff, my rental property stuff, and it doesn't. Maybe I just applied it wrong. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. So I mean, but you would like to get a tight end in to actually develop in the system, like that's what's kind of
be nice.
Yeah. But there's not a guy early, and unfortunately, and they're going to be this is going to be a very trench heavy draft, I believe, because there are needs. I mean, they're patching holes.
It's a great draft to do that. There are tackles, offensive line tackles, and defensive tackles, so it's a good draft to do that.
Yeah. So we'll see. Now I always have. Brad's right. Flex Seal will fix your glory hole.
I might try that tonight when I get off the show. I might put that on there. We'll see. If people are coming late to the show, what the hell are you talking about? Oh, I gotta freak this
But do you want it permanently closed there, or do you want it accessible?
We're gonna have to redo the whole freaking bathroom, which I'm
in
gonna do
access.
anyway. That's what we're talking about. That's my bathroom. That's what for the podcast listeners. I'm showing a big gaping hole in my shower. I'm gonna put some seal over that.
If you have kids in the car, tell them to shut their ears for a second. He's talking about his hole.
Like, mommy, what's a glory hole? Never mind. Never mind.
Someplace that mom went to after a couple too many drinks in Zewataneo. That's where I met your father.
Oh, God. Hey, the show's off the rails already. Oh, Jesus. All right, let's try to steer this back here. Brad, he says, what's your thoughts on the Russell Wilson signing? I honestly, I think it's a good fit for the Squealers, and I hate it.
Sure. I mean, he's better than Kenny Pickett, but
Kenny pick 6.
You're not getting Russell Wilson from the Legion of Boom Seahawks. Like, you're hoping he's going to be closer to the Broncos guy. If you get the guy from last year, fine. Like that's a perfectly cromulent quarterback for my Simpsons fans out there. He can be useful.
He doesn't know what you don't know a lot. That's what Dale and them want to call ourselves for our tailgate. We do it lot 1. They want to call us lot lizards.
Oh,
I'm not sold on that. Go ahead.
Again, that's perfectly fine. That's Andy Dalton level, and if that's what they want, okay, cool. But you're going to quarterback, that with that defense and, with that front office, they're going to win 9-10 games and draft 16 to 22, and you're never going to get your quarterback. They almost need to bottom out. I mean, they lucked into drafting Ben Roethlisberger because he was a small school and fell to them.
They got lucky.
Those guys don't, you see guys that are drafted late in the first round or whatever that are diamonds in the rough, but they need to find that guy. And God, I saw something before we went on here about the 2022 quarterback draft, and it was terrible. I mean, that was Kenny Pickett, that was Desmond Ridder, Malik Willis, Matt Corral. There were no first-round quarterbacks. Yeah, Kenny Pickett was picked in the first round. He was not a first-round quarterback.
The only reason I picked him is because they needed a quarterback, and he was from Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
he was in their building. That's the only reason. Now, my thoughts on Russell Wilson here. I'll put it this way: they're not getting the Seahawks Super Bowl winning quarterback, but with the way they play defense and run the ball, he's not going to have to do a whole hell of a lot. So as long as he's smart with, and honestly, if you look back at when he won the Super Bowl and did those things with the Seahawks, he didn't do. He did do stuff, but they didn't rely on him to win. They relied on that defense. They relied on beast mode. That's who they relied on to win those Super Bowls.
But that's part of the problem. That's part of the falling out that he had with Pete Carroll because he wanted to shoulder. He wanted to keep shouldering the huge amount.
Well, I think he's proven he's not. No. So that's where I think this might be a pretty good fit for him, which I don't like. It doesn't scare me. It's the AFC North. I keep saying it's the toughest division in football. These teams are going to keep trying to get better, and they keep trying to keep up with whoever won the division last year. Well, now the Ravens won it, so we got to try to keep up with them. So,
they've improved from the 4th best quarterback to the 3rd best quarterback in the division.
Woo!
Maybe the 3rd best. Deshaun Watson, they're probably at similar levels. Obviously, you're paying a whole shitload of a lot. Speaking of glory holes and stuff like that with Deshaun Watson.
Crip says that should be the title of the show tomorrow. Who can this glory hole?
Plenty of guys lining up to fill it for you.
Austin has a very burning question about it. You guys are killing me here.
They make ointments for that.
Chad
We've gone rogue.
Oh my God. After the day I've had, I needed this laugh. I woke up and I'm like, huh? And then I'm sitting there trying to set the show up. I'm talking to you. I'm trying to find what's going on with the Bengals. I'm trying to fix this.
See, what you need is just at some point in the summer, before Bengals training camp, not much else going on. Yeah, the Reds are daily, but as much as I love baseball kind of gets stale to talk about day after day because you're just kind of talking about the same shit. One game is, nothing to overreact.
What is David Bell doing? God!
Right. Just have an entire episode that has nothing to do with sports and just take inane questions from the peanut gallery and just fuck it. Let's just
We have a show. The chat
burn it
takes,
all down.
the chat takes over.
Absolutely.
What do you guys want to talk about today?
Exactly. Let the inmates run the asylum, man.
Exactly. So, do you think if the Bengals sign what?
Augie's comment.
Oh, I didn't see what I was looking at the camera. Justin Watson requested trade after hearing my ISIS massive glory hole.
Bengals might have to massage the salary cap to make that fit.
That trade is denied, by the way. That trade is denied. Totally denied. All right. All right. Back to football. So.
Okay, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah. So if the Bengals do sign Beckham, they do sign Tart, which they're both here, I think. Is that correct? They're both in town?
Becton has left the facility.
Well, that's not good.
So, I mean, it doesn't mean anything. I mean, the guys that left before, I mean, didn't Lyle Collins leave? I mean, I live a little over.
No, he went to Kenwood Mall.
Leave.
Go to Kenwood Mall. Go see if Becton's there. Go find him.
I live a mile away from the mall. I'll go wander over there.
We need in-depth story on this. You need to be boots on the ground at Kenwood Mall to find out if Becton is there.
I've got to Maggiano's. They've got a really good ziti. They're expensive as hell, but it's good food.
Yes, they are. They are very expensive. They were expensive.
Yeah.
So if they do sign those two, do you think they're done in free agency, or do you think they pick somebody else up? I think they're done, honestly.
They're done with major moves. I mean, they're still going to, they're still going to fill in. There's going to be guys that they pick up after the draft when you see the next wave of guys cut and post, early in training camp. But we'll see. Whether it's Becton, whether it's Trent Brown, I would love for them to get into Tyron Smith. He's going to be a lot bigger ticket item.
I would love Trent Brown. I'd honestly prefer him over.
Injury issues is my age.
Well, that's the thing. But that's the thing. If you draft,
you're getting wards.
Somebody.
Yeah. You're getting wards.
Yeah, you're still drafting a right tackle.
Yeah.
I think who else is out there left? You're still drafting a right tackle.
Yeah, Trent Brown's a massive human being, 6'8", 370. I mean, he would. Anyone who's bigger than Orlando Brown, like that, that's a massive.
Oh my God. Dude, first time I'm 6'3". I consider myself kind of tall, but when I had to do this, I'm like, holy shit, what's the weather like up there? And his hands are this freaking big. I'm like, God.
Yeah, my dad was 6'5", and I'm 6'1". I mean, I'm not short by any means, but
what happened to you?
Smoking.
See,
that's why you don't smoke when you're pregnant, ladies.
Yeah, well, I smoked and then I quit.
Yeah, I quit. Well, but see, it's not you smoking. It's smoking when you're in the womb.
You smoked in the womb? Wow. That's talent. That is talent right there, Joe.
I was a cool motherfucker, man. I came out with the Joe Camel in my hand.
Come on, like, what up, bitches?
You smack me, I'm punching you, Doc.
Joe is here.
Yes, Austin, don't ever smoke. It's a terrible habit. I quit when I was in my mid-20s, so it was a long time ago.
I quit like 15 years ago.
So. Yeah, it was 18 years ago, 2006. Fuck, I'm getting old. I don't like it.
You're old. Shit, 2014's 10 years ago. I can't believe that. All right.
I know.
Let's see here. Stranger Brown would turn our offensive line into the Mount Bengals Mafia?
Mess? I don't know. I
don't know. Who's Brown? Trent Brown. Who's the other Brown?
Orlando?
Oh, duh.
The one that's already there?
The one I already have. The one we're just talking about?
Yeah.
Dumbass.
Yeah.
Brad said, I can't believe the Cardinals signed Jonah. Dude, I can. I mean, Jonah. Look, I'll put it to you this way.
He's a fine player.
I'll put it to you this way, and I'm gonna steal this from Mo Egger. He said this. Just think of this: if we did not draft Jonah Williams, somebody else drafted him,
right?
And we signed him as a free agent to be our right tackle. This place would be ecstatic. We'd be like, "Oh my God, we fixed our right tackle position." They would.
We'd be fine with it.
The thing is, as high as we drafted him. He wasn't an all-pro. He wasn't, the big stud that, he's kind of like Drew Sample. Drew Sample is what Drew Sample is. He should have been drafted in the second round, but he did. Or first, whatever we drafted, I can't remember. But he has been. That's the problem.
Yeah.
He's like they didn't live up to their draft stat. Jonah Williams is a good right tackle. He's a good left.
He's
tackle.
fine.
Yeah, he's fine.
Completely acceptable.
That's all I've ever said about it, and that's where I'm like, I wouldn't mind bringing him back because we don't have anybody and drafted somebody. So we'll see.
Yeah, so it's European for mountain range. Oh. What's European? Like, there's 8 million languages in Europe. My son's in Poland right now. I'll have him ask.
Yeah, text him now and ask him.
He's probably going to bed.
What?
It's they're ahead of us. It's like, well, they were 6 hours, so yeah, it's around midnight.
When your dad texts you, you should answer. It should be on alert at all times.
I'll just call him on FaceTime, so that'll piss off. They're in a hostel, so he's in with a bunch of upperclassmen. They'll kick his ass for that.
Oh, your daddy's calling you. Shut up. Leave me alone.
No.
Don't call me dad. Shoot, I remember my son went on in middle school, he went on a DC trip, and dude would not answer the phone. Like I told him, I texted him, I said, look, I don't care if you don't answer the phone for me, but you better answer the phone for your mom. Because she wants to know how you're doing. Like, I don't care. I'm like, hadn't heard from her son. He was 12, 13 at the time. I'm like, he's 23 now. It's a while ago. But I remember, like it was yesterday, I'm like, dude, you have to call your mom. You cannot ignore your mom.
Yeah. They were told that like they don't want them on their phones at all. Like they want them out there like being immersed in the culture, and then they went to Auschwitz. Like you don't want to be messing around your phone when you're going through. Cool. Exactly. So I get it, but like I still want to text them, say, hey man, how's it going?
Yeah,
like
we're
just getting a few pictures here and there.
Are you still alive?
Right. Exactly. I need signs of life.
What's your safe word?
His phone is. Are we going back to glory holes? Grape soda.
That'd be an interesting one. That's definitely
grape soda.
Like, yes, your son is screaming out great soda. We don't know what's going on.
His phone is moving. Like we can track him because you've got the shared location thing on the iPhone. So somebody is, if he's there, like if he's not there, like if he doesn't have his phone, somebody's at least walking with his group where he's supposed to be. So that's good.
Exactly. Austin grape soda is going everywhere. Go get the grape soda.
Oh god, it's sticky mess.
I'm not touching that one. I'll leave that one alone.
Not without gloves.
Oh, God.
Have you had a hepatitis booster yet?
What the hell is wrong with us?
Brad, this is a hostel for high school kids, man. Clean it up. This is a family environment.
Everybody on the podcast is like, what the hell are they laughing about? You gotta watch the show live. That's why you watch the show live. See what happens. If you're watching the show live, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, share it out everywhere. I'd appreciate it. Let's see here. What do you got, Augie? I'm sure Travis will do a commercial.
I'm sure he's taken it before. I mean, he was on a dating show before, so I mean, yeah.
Your son was on a dating show?
No, Travis Kelce.
Oh, Travis Kelce. Oh,
he does the commercial for the COVID booster.
Yeah, I know.
Grape soda's my new nickname.
All right, Crip. I like that.
They call me.
Go ahead.
They call me Grape Drink.
Where the hell is Pork Chop? I don't know. Pork Chop hasn't even done it. He hasn't even come on the show. I don't know where Pork Chop's at. I don't know. He's probably sleeping. I mean, hell, maybe they're still on their show. I have no idea. We're doing a show today, but I didn't get to watch any of it because, like I said, I was running around trying to put a massive hole in my bathroom. Fix it.
Trying to stick something in the glory hole.
Trying to. All right. You got anything else you wanna talk about before we get the hell out of here? You got Bearcat thoughts, Reds thoughts, anything like that?
Cam Collier just 1 yard in the. They've got the prospect showdown, whatever the hell they call that. The where they got the Reds minor leaguers against. I forget who they're playing.
Yeah, the spring break game or whatever the hell they're calling it.
Breakout. Yeah, it's a really cool idea. And I guess Cam Collier went deep in the top of the first. That dude's gonna break out.
You think
he is absolutely. Yeah.
Like
he had
like make it to the majors this year.
No, I mean like needing some medication because he's got a breakout of something because
Oh
he
my god.
went to a glory hole. No, the guy was 17 years, like drafted as a 17-year-old high schooler, and like was 3-4 years younger than everybody else in this league. I think he's gonna have a great season and remind people why he was drafted. You know, in the top wherever the hell he was drafted.
Wow. You're the baseball guy, not me. I forget.
Yes.
I used to be the baseball guy. I can't keep track. Like I said, once they started doing WAR and whip and all these other stats, I'm like,
What about Nene? Can you whip and Nene?
whip. I like a whip. I like the Nene.
There you go.
Whip. I don't even know how to do it.
That's more than I know.
I got moves. Hey,
Yeah.
plus side, baby. We know that stuff. Gotta have beats.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Let's end this thing on that. Tell people where they can find you, what you got going on.
Not in some free clinic. That's not where you're going to find me.
Yes. Go look there. Do you guys have Joe Farfsing?
That's HIPAA violation. No.
Actually, you should go there and say, do you guys know how to fix a Farfsing? Because we got one broke.
Yeah, it's been broke since birth. I mean, we're 40, almost going on 44 years. YouTube.com, Riverfront Cincy, the Bengals show on all the podcast places, all that fun shit. Check us out. We're kind of in a little bit of a hiatus for our regular schedule. We're still dropping episodes when we need to. So,
well, I got something I need to let everybody know. We officially are going to be doing a Reds opening day broadcast from Moorline House. I don't know what time yet. I don't know where at Moorline House. I'm going to get all the details. We're going to have a meeting with them down there Saturday.
I love Lager House, man. That's good food, man.
Good food, good beer. Their OG beer. Oh, God, that's my favorite. But if you guys are down enjoying the banks after the parade or whatever, come stop by the Moorline House. We'll have more details out there later. It's going to be me, Joe, Tim Daniels. If you guys are watching on ZTV, the guys from the Colts podcast, the guys from the Pacers podcast are going to be joining us as well. Maybe some other people. Maybe I'll be able to get some Reds on. I'm working on it. We'll see what happens. I mean, they're not going to walk to the Moorline House. They might, jump on their phones and talk to us. We'll see. But it's going to be a lot of fun. Make sure you guys check that out. I'm excited about it. It's been a thing I've been working on, kind of stressing me out with everything else that's been going on in my life. trying to knock this down, nail it down on when we're going to do it. But it's going to be a lot of fun. So
absolutely looking forward to it.
Joe and hopefully Chad and Nate and Dobson can show up too. I told Tim to give them the invite if they wanted to show up and hang out and talk some Reds. So anyway, Joe, appreciate it, brother. Go fix your glory hole.
This was fun as hell. I got to eat. Bye.
Bye. Oh my God, what's wrong with him? Anyway, let's get to my sponsors here. They might not want to sponsor my show after this, but we got Myers Doors and Windows. Make sure you go check them out for all your window and door needs. Like I said, I have them in my house right now. They're easy to clean. They look great. They keep the warm air in, the cold air out, and the summertime, the cool air in and the warm air out. I said easy clean, nice looking. Go check them out. They give out free estimates. My favorite barbecue joint, I know it's the East Side thing, but Midwest Best Barbecue. Go get some chicken wings there. CCB wings, Uno wings, pulled pork sandwiches. Like I said, they got the ribs every third Saturday. They got the chili sometimes. Chili is delicious. Next Friday, I plan on being at Hail Mary's, hopefully to watch my Bearcats. They got to win tonight, and they got to win tomorrow. They got to make it Saturday. But I'll be there for sure watching some NCAA basketball. So if you're in the West Side, it's in Cheviot. It's your ticket to the game, Hail Mary's Sports Bar, right in the heart of Cheviot, Ohio. It's got a big-ass TV screen, lots of TVs, great beers. They'll have they have food trucks and stuff there, so they have some good food. Make sure you check them out. Thanks for watching. I've been live streaming on ZTV, YouTube. Like I said, I'm monetized on YouTube again, so appreciate that. If you guys can support that, share it out. Super chats, super thanks, all that cool stuff can be back up. Live stream on Facebook, live stream on X, Rumble. If you're listening to it on podcast, what's up? If you want to rewatch or re-listen to it tomorrow or tonight, it's on Apple iTunes, Spotify, Google, Stitcher Play, pretty much wherever you get your podcast. As always, please make sure you rate, like, and review. I'd greatly appreciate it. And as always, I'll be back tomorrow, as Mike Greenberg would say, better than ever. We got Draft Guy Jared going to be on, and my boy, Dale, from Bengals and Brewers is going to be on. So it'll be another fun show. Hopefully we have another signing from the Bengals. We'll find out. Other than that, ready? Throw it up. That's just sports, baby. See ya!